Well, welcome to Will's World of Whiskey, and I'm going to do something different here. I'm just going to do a different approach to the review. I'm not going to sit here and go through the tasting notes, etc., because all of these whiskeys I've done. But this is more about the confusion for those of you out there, whether you're going to Islay and you're looking for a smoke on Islay, or you're looking for smoke in general, in other words, the peated stuff. And there's different levels of peat. It can be very confusing out there. Now, through the years, I've drank a lot of peated stuff. Probably drink a little bit less today, and you name it. Everything from the real high-end, potent 140, 150 ppm Octomore to the 40s, you know, the 40s, the 50s in this area here, the south end of Islay. Lafroig, you know, the heavier Lagavulin, the Ardbeg, even the Port Charlotte back here kind of hidden. A lot of stuff out there can be confusing. Now, what I'm looking at here is value for your money for what you're looking for. So I'm going to start off with Islay and some of the standards on Islay. And this guy here is definitely one of the standards. The good old 10, you know, you can see him there, the good old 10, Lafroig 10, which is an old standard. And I really believe that, you know, it hasn't gone up that much in price. They have the cheaper Select, which I'm not really a fan of, with your quarter cask. And then we can look at the Ardbeg, and of course with Ardbeg, here's your 10, and I kind of put the two of these together because it's a little higher ABV, 43, 46, but the trade-off is in the price, and they're both good whiskeys. Don't get me wrong, they're both good whiskeys. And I got the cask strength of this as well. I didn't bring it out, I don't have room here, but so the cask strength, you're going to pay more for it, so I didn't think it necessary to bring out because I wanted to play in this area here, but I'm just showing you some other options. So if you're, let's say, going to the cask strength, well, maybe you should be looking at the lower. Go up another notch, but it's up around $200 now. But then, you know, you've got the Ugadale, which is a little bit better price. It's in the $140, $150 range, and it's a good whiskey. And it's in the a higher ABV range there. Let's get back down to what is more reasonably priced. And on Islay, I've gone through all of these whiskeys. I'm going to look at the Port Charlotte, $110. If you're looking at the 10-year-old, if you go up to the cask, specialty casks like your Sauternes and your Pack series and some of the other Select series, you're going to pay up in the $30, $140 range for them. And they'll be a little higher ABV, but this is about 46. We're looking at Lagavulin. Now, Lagavulin, I used to love Lagavulin until the price kept doing this. And this wasn't a bad whiskey, an 8-year-old whiskey. But darn it, it's up, what the heck is it now? 100 Lagavulin now? What are we paying for a Lagavulin? $100? Something like that for an 8-year-old Lagavulin. So, you know, I'm going to stay with the 16. I'll pay a little more and go with the 16. If I was going for the Lagavulin, I'm certainly looking at the Ardbeg. You know, what's the Ardbeg now? The Ardbeg's around $112. Well, gee, pay 12 more bucks and get the Ardbeg. Believe you me, it's a better whiskey than the Lagavulin 8. That's all there is to it. It's a much better. It's been around a long time. It's just a better whiskey. I'm not saying this is a bad whiskey. This is a better value for your money. If you're on a real budget, by golly, the 10. We're looking at the 10, it's, God, $85, somewhere around there, and or less. I mean, these are prices in Canada, and there are better prices you go into some of the stores. So I'm giving you maybe the little higher end of things by a few bucks, but not by much. What have I missed? Here's the Caol. Now, I'm going to a Gordon MacPhail Caol because it's a good price on it, but it's not going to be a strong peated whiskey like these.
Diageo's Caol is a few bucks less, but I prefer the Gordon MacPhail 13-year-old. These Islay Bowmores are lower in peat, but I do have a preference for the higher ABV Bowmore 15.
So if we're kind of looking at Islay and we're looking for a lighter whiskey, you're looking at the Bowmores, you're looking at the Kalilas. Now, if you go up to the Vault series, you're paying a lot more for them. And so again, we're getting away from this price area here. So I keep coming back to these guys, you know, and same with the Kilchoman whiskies there. I find them, like the Snag and that, I just find them a little bit pricey, but, you know, Ralphie gives them a good review. I've tried them. I still keep coming back here for the value for your money, and they're non-age statements, by the way, and they do have their followers. Now, if we get off of Islay, there's the winner getting off Islay. There's two winners here, and I'm going to show them. Lacheg, I think it's still in the $70 range. It's ridiculous what you're getting there. It's what, a 46, non-chill filtered, no color added. I mean, this is a killer price. I don't know how long that can last. And then this guy here, if you can get it, the Kilchoman, excellent whiskey, great peated whiskey. I think I paid $100 for that. So that's Springbank, by the way. They own the Glengyle distillery. So excellent value for your money. I mean, I'd pay $110 for that, easy. 12-year-old. This is a 10-year-old. These are great values. The Talisker was a fantastic value. It has gone up another $10. So I'd probably go back to the Port Charlotte here, because I think the Port Charlotte's a better value for your money. And then again, if I go to the Port Charlotte, I'd go to the Ardbeg. The Ardbeg's going to kick butt here, and it's going to kick butt there. So that's how I see it, the Ardbeg 10. You know, we look at Ben, you know, getting off Islay again. We're looking at Ben Riach, you know. This isn't a bad whiskey. This is their the Curiositas. I kind of like this whiskey. It was a good price. Now, I don't know what it is right now. I'd have to look it up. Can you still get it? But it was certainly, it was somewhere around the $100 range. And then you go up a little bit in the Ben Riach 12 there. That's the Smoky 12. So this is a 10-year-old, that's the 12. And you know, the price isn't that much more for the Smoky 12. But they're different, you know, they have a little different profile than the Islay whiskies. So again, if you're going off the island, you want a deal, I still go here, Lacheg. It's the best value. You like the taste of a Talisker, great. Go for a Talisker. It hasn't gotten out of range yet. And of course, neither have the Ben Riachs gone out of range yet. But anyways, there's so many whiskeys out there. But in the end, if I was choosing, in the end, these are the whiskeys. These two guys here are still the best value for your money. You know, that they're both 10. You're getting the 46 here, you get the 43 here, but you know, there's a difference of what, $15, $20 in price. So there's a trade-off. And this is one of the better 43s out there, the Lafroig. So I would look at these two whiskeys if that's within your budget range. $85, you know, and you're what, around the $100 range. You can't beat it. It's by far, I think, the best value out there. Now, you notice I didn't bring the quarter out here, so why didn't I bring the quarter out here? Well, the quarter is close to what the 10 is. It ups a little bit in price. I think it's 48 as well, so it goes up, what, 5% in ABV over the 10. I've done a shootout between the two. When I go back and forth between these two whiskeys, they're close in value. I still think the 10 is a little bit richer. I think that 10 years, I think there's younger whiskeys in here, even though it's a quarter cask, and the quarter cask does age faster, smaller casks, more exposure to the cask. And, you know, all the, you know, the flannel and the marketing they do. I mean, it's still a good whiskey, don't get me wrong. So the quarter cask here is $20 more than the 10. So 48 versus 43. If you're looking for a little heavier hitter, yeah, it's still reasonably priced. I mean, I don't mind this, but I think the 10 squeaks it a bit. It really does. I think it squeaks it a bit. I think $112 for the Ardbeg, and you're looking at what, $105 for the quarter cask. That's a difference of, golly, what, $7-8? I think that the Ardbeg 10 is more than $7-8 better product than the quarter cask. That's my own personal feelings. I just think it's that much better a product. But some people like the taste of the quarter cask, and they do have a little bit different profiles. So remember, these are my opinions, my personal opinions. So I'm going to leave it at that. But I kind of like to leave you with just to kind of break the confusion with these whiskeys, because there's a lot of confusion with them. There's so many of them out there. If I was looking at value for what I'm spending, but I still want a decent whiskey, I'm going to prioritize the Ardbeg 10 and the Lafroig 10 just for value and the difference in price I explained to you. You know, it makes sense to me. That's all. If I was going off of Islay and I'm looking at my best value, I go to Lechag, and then from there you could wander. You know, if you could get a Kilchoman, fantastic. I don't know if you can get one, but I would wander. You know, Talisker. I mean, $120 for the 10. You can look at the Ben Riachs. They're decent. They're decent whiskeys. Ben Romack makes a decent peated whiskey. Not a real potent peat, but if you're looking at maybe this guy here. He's around $100, say, for the Brookladdick. So he's a player as well. It's a decent whiskey. I just prefer the Ardbeg over this. That's all. But I'm not knocking. I think the 10's still a decent whiskey. And if I was comparing the 10 to the quarter, I'll go this route. Definitely go this route because they're comparable in price. And I would pick the Port Charlotte 10 over the quarter cask. So not picking on the quarter cask, it's just my personal opinion. So I just thought I would kind of throw that one out. I just felt like doing something different tonight. Throw a bunch of whiskey out here and just my personal opinions, because that's what it is. This is how my palate works. And through the years, I've been drinking some of these whiskeys for a long time, especially the Lafroig 10 and the Ardbeg 10. And actually, I've not as long, definitely not as long with the Port Charlotte 10, but certainly the Lagavulin, when it first came out, the 8, I kind of liked it, but when I look at the price today, it just doesn't make as much sense. And I will always be a fan of the 16, and sure, if it's chill filtered or they add coloring, I'm at the mercy of the companies. I mean, I still like it.
Some of the peated bottlings that were not mentioned are Scarabus from Duncan Lang, bottled at 46%, and that's from an undisclosed Islay distillery. And then we have Compass Box's Peat Monster, which is also at 46%, and that's from the Isle of Mull. And then we have Douglas Lang's Big Peat, and that's a mix of Kalila, Ardbeg, Bowmore, and Port Ellen casks at 46%. And last we have Bunnahabbin's Toiteach A Dhà by Burn Stewart.
The other whiskeys here, I love the Ugadale, but it is priced a little bit higher. The Lore, I think it's out of your price range for most people. It's up in the $200 range in Canada. So, that's one of the things that I wanted to kind of lay out was the pricing on this stuff, because I think that bears in, to what you'd be looking at as far as value for your money. So, anyways, that's it. That's it for the review here. So I'm going to ask you to drink wisely, drink intelligently, and do not drink and drive. And until the next time, so long.